So as you guys know, I've been covering a ton of different technology devices on my channel, even gaming consoles. I've done Nintendos, PlayStations, all that stuff, but one specific console and series I have not done on my channel yet is the one that's probably the most dear to my heart, and I say that in every single video. But today we're going to be talking about none other than the Xbox One and pretty much how it holds up in 2019. Now there's a lot to say in my opinion about the Xbox console, and funny enough, even though I don't game, I'm like a horrible gamer. I'm probably going to mess up some things here and people are going to criticize me in the comments, which is okay. I should learn from my mistakes. But the Xbox 360, which was the previous version to this one, was one of the main consoles that I used on like a daily basis. Not even on a daily basis, but like on a probably weekly basis when I was growing up. Probably from the ages of like 13 to now, because that was the only other gaming console in my house. And I would just normally play like Halo 3 with the other people. And like I said, like I'm not a huge gamer. I don't even game right now. But I do have some vivid memories from the Xbox line, and I do have a lot of love and respect for Microsoft for creating it. I even have the original Xbox that I still have not reviewed. If you want to see a review on that, you can drop a like, but if this video gets like, I don't know, like a 1.5 billion likes, I'll go ahead and do it. But regardless if you like it or not, I'm still going to do it, so it doesn't matter. But let's go ahead and talk about the Xbox One and see how it holds up in 2019, whether it's still worth it. Maybe you should spend your money on something else. Maybe you should go and pick up a Nintendo Switch Lite instead, who knows? But this thing originally came out in 2013. And this was the successor to the Xbox 360, which, like I said before, was one of the main consoles that I used in my own lifetime, that I actually used before, I started getting money and started, buying just anything I wanted. Just kidding. I don't make that much money in the first place, but looking around the console, you can definitely see it has that glossy design, the all black, it looks super stealthy in my opinion. And honestly, this thing almost reminds me so much of the Xbox Elite, which was way before this, and even like the newer refreshed Xbox 360 with the Kinect and all that good stuff. I still have yet to get that. I still need to review that one as well. But you can see how the design language really kind of started coming and started becoming more minimalistic in a way. And eventually with the Xbox One S, I think that was the best designed Xbox ever. That thing looks so sick. Obviously the One X looks probably better, but the One S in my opinion was just a super sick console. But the Xbox One was the one that pretty much started that. In terms of that lineup, obviously the original Xbox started everything. But in terms of the design on the outside, it really doesn't look that bad. One thing, maybe it is a little bit thicker. It's stated that the Xbox One S is about 40% slimmer, which I own the Xbox One S too, and I still have not reviewed that one. I'm so behind on reviews. But funny enough, the original Xbox One, which we're talking about now, was actually designed to sit horizontally. It wasn't designed to sit like straight up. Eventually with the One S, that came with a stand to sit it right up. But that's such a weird thing, like you're expected to pretty much put your console whichever way you want. With PlayStations, like even with the PS4, I don't think I've ever seen a PS4 sitting straight up, now that I think about it. But with the PlayStation 3, a lot of people put it either or. And honestly, it makes sense to put a landscape in my opinion. I think sitting a portrait, if there's not enough room on the bottom, sitting a landscape makes more sense in my opinion. I just went on a humongous tangent there. I can't believe I did that. But looking on the back of the Xbox One, you can see that we have a ton of port selections. Well, actually not a ton as you would expect, but enough to get you by. You have the power port, obviously plug in your thing and you can set it up. You have two HDMIs on the back. You have two USB ports as well as an Ethernet. You can connect your whatever on it. So in terms of the port selection and selectability of it, you have quite a few choices, but definitely with newer consoles, even with the PlayStation 4, like that has a little bit more versatility in it in my opinion. It's a super thick console, like I said before, and even though the One S and the Xbox One X look better, I still like the design of the original Xbox One. Now, one of the highlights of the original Xbox One, and even going back to the Xbox 360, it was really the controller. So many people love the controller of the Xbox series, and I personally agree with that. I think maybe PS4's controller is good in some cases. I honestly, it feels between all of them. I like the original PlayStation 3 controller. I think that one was really good. I don't really like the PlayStation 4 controller that much, to be honest, but the Xbox One controller is right up there. It's a very solid controller, and I think, even in terms of now, it still holds up in 2019, just the controller itself. And the coolest thing is that, totally kind of going off topic, this controller can actually link up with iPads and iPhones now on iOS 13, so if you want to go mobile gaming, you can just bring your Xbox One controller with you, even your PlayStation 4 controller, take it with you, whatever. I have a tutorial on my second channel on how to do that. And since Microsoft hasn't really updated the Xbox One controller since the 2013 model, so that means the One S controller is the same and the One X controller is the same. They're just different colors. And even though maybe I'm showing you the One S controller, it's the exact same thing. They're just different colors overall. But they are saying the next Xbox, that's going to be coming out probably within like a year or something, that the controller is going to be a little bit more redesigned and it's going to be a completely whole separate console. Like, how like the Xbox One was to the 360 lineup? The next Xbox, I think they're calling it the 720 or whatever, so corny, but I really hope they don't do that. It's most probably going to be called the Xbox 2. That's going to be coming with a huge upgrade as well as a new controller. So I guess we're going to have to see what happens there. But once you're actually connected and you turn on the Xbox One, you can see that, it's a familiar thing. Honestly, it reminds me so much of Windows 8, but this still supports a lot of the things. It still supports the store, so you can easily go and install games and apps. You can download Fortnite or PUBG or whatever is available on this thing. And in terms of software, this thing is still going to be supported alongside the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. So even though this thing came out in 2013, it's probably going to get the same updates all throughout its lifetime until the One X is not supported. So in terms of software, I think it's going to last for a long time. Now, switching courses, let's go ahead and talk about the gaming library of this thing. Now all games that are supported for the Xbox One X and the One S, I totally stuttered there, they are still supported on the Xbox One. So that's really cool. So all the new Xbox One X games, those are still going to be able to be played on the Xbox One. Now, is it going to be as great of an experience? Is it going to be lag-free and all that? Probably not. I mean, there's still going to be some issues. There might be some glitched frames here and there. There might be some whatever. But that doesn't mean that you can't play that game. Like, I'm going to tell you, if the Xbox One X is like 100% like bug-free, no glitches, no nothing, probably the Xbox One would be like 80% of that, probably even better than that. It's not a mind-bending difference in my opinion. Now, it could be wrong. That's kind of my experience, even owning the Xbox One S now. Now, all those games that were just released, like the Red Dead Redemption 2 and all those ones, those are still going to be supported for the Xbox One. Now, GTA 6, whenever that comes out, hopefully that does come out when the Xbox One X is still relevant. And all those other upcoming games, that even Microsoft might have announced in recent times, those are still going to be supported. And even some older games that were available for the Xbox 360 and even the original Microsoft Xbox, there's still some ways to get those on your Xbox One as well. So the Call of Duties and the Halos and whatever games that you might have had on your Xbox 360, some of them are available on the Xbox One, which is good. But with that being said, the Xbox One does not have full backwards compatibility. They did do a little bit for you to play Xbox and Xbox 360 games in terms of software, but I honestly feel like Microsoft dropped the ball when they didn't do full backwards compatibility. I think that was so dumb of them to do. The Xbox 360 had tons of games, and maybe that would have made people, more willing to upgrade to the Xbox One if they were able to keep their gaming library. Like, I know for me, like, if the Nintendo 3DS for some reason didn't support Nintendo DS games, that would just be a dumb thing. Like, why would they do that? And the Xbox One could have easily handled 360 games. Like, obviously, that's such a better console. So they should have just done full backwards compatibility, put in your disc, put in whatever, it should be able to handle it. I don't know why they did it. And even still in 2019, I'm kind of salty about that. There's still tons of games for this thing. The gaming library is very good for this console. And even going like 2, 3, 4 years down the line from now, this thing, not only will it get cheaper, but the gaming library will also get cheaper. So games will just get cheaper. And this will be a very, very good pickup a couple years from now. And in terms of longevity, like I said, the games that are out now and future games that are released or announced, those will still be supported for this console. But with that being said, I do personally believe that a successor to the original Xbox One and the One X and all that, it's going to come sooner than later. The Xbox One S came out in 2016. The Xbox One X came out not too long ago, but I will say within a year or two from now, Microsoft is going to announce something. We already saw Microsoft tease that thing at E3 a month ago, so who knows when it's going to be officially released. Maybe Microsoft even said something about it and I totally didn't even look at it and now I'm looking like an idiot, but I personally do think that it's going to come sooner than later. But the main criticisms I see of the original Xbox One, are maybe the slower speeds than the Xbox One X and the S, and that makes sense. Like, I understand, like, if you're getting an older console, you should expect to have some slower speeds, but if you want the latest and greatest, if you're a heavy gamer, if you want to be able to record your gameplay and not miss any frame rates or anything, obviously get a 1S or a 1X. But I think this still gets the job done. But another criticism I see is the lack of 4K. You are only able to output 720p and 1080p videos on the original Xbox One. Do those things personally affect me that much? Not really. I honestly don't care. I don't even think I own a 4K television, but that might affect you, and that is something that you would have to kind of ask yourself. You can obviously still play original Xbox One on a 4K monitor. It just won't look as good because it's not outputting on 4K. The One S is able to actually upscale a lot of those games to 4K, so that is a pretty decent thing you have to remember. So to answer the burning question, is the Xbox One still worth it in 2019? This is what I will tell you, okay? I still think the original Xbox One is a decent deal for the money, okay? I think it brings a lot of value to the table, and since the gaming library is pretty much on par with the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X, and the library is pretty big and the graphics are still great, I think it's still a very good pickup in 2019. Now, the even better part is you can pick one of these things up for less than $100, which is a very, very good deal. I've seen a lot of these go with like even the controller, all the accessories, all that stuff for like $80, which is a really, really good deal. Obviously, make sure there's no problems with it or anything. But in the used market, I mean, you can even get an Xbox One S. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's not a crazy amount. And I would probably recommend picking one of those up than the original Xbox One. And the reason being, it's faster, better processors, it's smaller, slimmer. You can set it up right if you want to. But also the 4K output. In the future, we're expecting better quality games. And I don't think like 5K or 8K games are coming out anytime soon, at least in like a 2-year frame rate from now. So you might be better off picking up an Xbox One S, to be honest. But either or, I think the Xbox One is not a bad pickup in 2019, in my opinion. If you want to pick up not an Xbox One, but an Xbox One S, I couldn't find an Xbox One on Amazon. I'll leave the cheapest one I find on Amazon or some boxed ones that come with accessory or whatever in the description below. I think they're around like $200 or $250 if you want to pick that up. Links are down in the description. I would probably recommend you to get it from there so you can help support the channel at the same time. But that is pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I would really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.